If you're watching this video, then you have realized that you have some level of addiction to social media, and you want to know what are some of the things that you could be doing to break these behaviors. Hey guys, Zaryn here again with Market and Hustle, where we simplify marketing so that you can grow your digital influence and your business. Now, most of my videos discuss marketing fundamentals and the steps that you need to take to apply the strategies we cover. But today I want to talk about something a little bit different, as I frequently see my friends and I myself have gone through my own level of social media addiction. Now, these behaviors have become so prevalent in our society, and it's by no coincidence as these platforms engineer their news feeds to be highly addictive. But now, we're starting to see an increase in examination with studies being published more frequently, and they're validating our worst fears. In a test completed in Denmark back in 2015, Facebook users were broken up into groups based on their social media consumption habits and asked not to use Facebook for 7 days. A separate control group was asked to continue using Facebook as usual. Now, the Facebook users who did not take a break from the platform rated their life satisfaction at a 7.74 out of 10 on average, but those who stayed away from Facebook for 7 days rated it at an 8.11. Another study also found that the more time 19 to 32-year-olds spend on social media, the more likely they are to become depressed. So how do you know if you're addicted to social media? Well, according to netaddiction.com, the Center for Internet Addiction, if you're spending a lot of time thinking or planning about your social media content, if you feel bad when you're prohibited from using your apps for an extended period of time, or if you use social media to forget about your problems, then you're likely facing an addiction. Now, in my day job, I work as a paid social media manager, which is a fancy title for somebody who buys advertisements on Facebook, Instagram, and other social networks. So every day I have to spend hours on these highly addictive social media platforms, which is why I had to develop a few hacks to help me minimize these addictive behaviors that I started to develop as my time on social media started to increase. Let's jump right to it. First thing I did was remove notifications from my phone. So now I never see a red notification alert on my phone unless it's from an email, a call, or a text message. Now, the reason I did this is because the notifications from the social apps are meant to stimulate consumption. I've been reading this book called The Power of Habit. It's a really good book by Charles Duhigg, and the author explains that behaviors are created in a 3-step process. Now, the first step is that there's a cue. In this situation, the cue is the notification. The second step is that the cue triggers the routine, which in this case is checking your Instagram or whichever platform you use. And the final step is that there's a reward, which in this case is the release of dopamine in the brain, which is a pleasure chemical. So by turning off your notifications, you are stopping the cue. You can then avoid the entire behavior, or at least reduce it. Now, the second thing I do is I set a timer. I limit the time I'm willing to spend on social media and literally set a timer on my phone. And when that time is up, I'm off. Now, this is good because it helps to discipline yourself, and you can use the timer to create a new habit. So another thing I learned in this book is that your brain does not have the ability to remove old habits, but it can create new ones. So essentially, you can substitute your habit of mindlessly scrolling with a limited amount of time. The third thing I did is a bit more on the extreme side, but I highly recommend it as it was super successful for me. It was a social media detox where for 30 days I did not post on social media. Now, this was major because it made me realize that once I wasn't posting, I didn't really care to spend that much time on social media, and I wanted to do more real world activities. Also, it reduced my stress because I was no longer trying to control the digital version of my life. I had more fun in social scenarios as I was completely detached from the digital world and was able to be more present and engaged in the conversation. So regardless of where you're at in your journey, just know that social media addiction is now a common behavioral addiction that many of us suffer from. But with a little awareness and willpower, you can effectively manage these behaviors, as there is nothing fundamentally wrong with using social media. Like many things in life, balance is the key. I really hope that this video helps you or someone you know, and remember that these technologies are meant to connect us, not consume us. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.